Hi guys, hopefully you can see me. This is StHilaire. We're going to talk about land contract deals tonight. I'm super excited to talk to you guys. I just want to get, so if you guys would please give me a message that you can hear the audio and video in the chat area. If someone could please just let me know that you guys can see me and hear me, and then we can get the show on the road. Just getting about 9 o'clock now, so I'm sure there's a few people still signing up to here with you guys, talking about land contracts. And I'm going to open up the chat box right here, and just to let you guys know if you give me a big hello, Jay. Okay, we're going to get going here. I believe you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me and see me okay, I've got some confirmation that everything sounds okay. But give me on the chat. Let me know everything's okay. Well, I'm going to get started here, guys. If you okay, sounds good. We're going to get ready here. Hi, I'm StHilaire, you guys. I'm a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate trainer, and I want to welcome you guys to Insider Elite Google Hangout, where I'm going to teach you tonight about land contracts and how to execute a land contract deal. In tonight's lesson, I'm going to give you a high-value, step-by-step action plan to complete an actual deal. And no matter what level you're at right now, you could have 0 deals or you could have 100 deals. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to teach you tonight, we're going to go through the same steps regardless of your experience thus far. So it doesn't matter where you are in experience. These steps are going to be the same. Now, I want to let you know right off the bat that I'm real excited to present this awesome information to you guys. And I've been compiling this information for well over 5 years. I've been studying and implementing this stuff for 5 years. So before I start this Google Hangout session, I was just talking about to one of my assistants about how I don't see the exact land contract strategy being presented and taught out there. I've been studying real estate investing since 2009 from one of the top real estate trainers in history, and on many platforms, including right here on Insider Elite. And I've found that no one has the corner on this market consistently. And what I mean by that is I don't see a major force rocking out this particular strategy, at least on a massive scale, or on a regular basis for that matter. I've been at this for 5 years. Like I said, I don't say that to toot my own horn, but as I share this killer information with you guys, you'll be asking yourself the same questions that I asked. Why? How come? Maybe because there's quite maybe because it's too simple, I don't know. But without the know-how, it can really seem difficult to you guys. In reality, it can be very simple if you take action with what I'm about to reveal to you guys. So basically, what is a land contract? A lot of people hear of land contract, they think it's selling land, and it's not. It's land and property. I don't know why they call it a land contract. It's just a name, just like any other name. But it's property and land together. Okay, and it's a contract between the buyer and a private seller of a property, where the seller holds the title or the deed to the property until all the payments have been made in full. So the seller's going to hold on to the deed. You're going to be making payments. You're going to be given a down payment, giving the seller a down payment and monthly payments, whatever is negotiated. And I want to let you guys know that the laws governing these contracts can vary by jurisdiction. Now, this is very important. These laws that govern the jurisdiction, they want to be consulted to understand the particular rules that control a specific scenario, your scenario, okay? So the property issue may be improved or unimproved. It may be vacant, or it could be, a single family home, a multifamily home, or a commercial building, okay? A down payment's usually made, like I said, and then equal monthly payment installments are paid until the property is paid in full. Now, it might be you might have a balloon payment, or it might be a 10-year, a 20-year, a 30-year note. A land contract is basically a note, and it's seller financing. And like I said, the balloon payment's a lump sum. Now, it's all negotiated. It's money that's due at a specified time. In this case, at the end of a course of monthly payments. So some other names for land contract might be, you guys might be familiar with, is rent to own, lease option, contract for deed. You might hear somebody say, I'm going to sell a note, or it might be an installment sale. Things, them are just different names that they're called. So there's certain steps to execute a land contract. And if you want to go by these steps, you want to take these steps in sequence, because if you miss any of these steps, it's very important to follow these steps. And what we're going to teach tonight is a few steps, all the steps that you're going to need in this execution of buying a land contract. Now, we're talking about just buying a house on land contract. We're not talking about selling it. Sandwich stretching, but right now we're going to on a, okay. So when we buy in a land contract, we're basically, I'm just talking about buying. I'm going to buy a house from a seller on a land contract. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to, and I'm not going to sandwich it, like I said. So we'll start with the basics on that one thing, and if you can do that, you can become an investor after that with the same sequence. Excuse me. Later on, you're going to become an investor. A lot of users already is just buying the house on a land contract. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's get right into it. Now, the first step is to execute a land contract is to find an attorney. And if you're going to be an investor, you're going to build a team. And this attorney, why I'm telling you this is because it's the same sequence, because you're going to need an attorney when you're an investor. You can use the same attorney when you buy a house, as opposed to when you become an investor, you're going to use that same attorney. So you're getting the work done already in this step. And how you're going to find an attorney, there's many ways. One way is yp.com, and that's yellowpages.com. And that is either an app on your phone, or it's the Yellow Pages and the old, the old Yellow Page booklet, like a phone book in the Yellow Pages. But most people use an app on their iPhone or Android phone, and they go to yp.com, it's yellowpages.com, and they in, your area, brush on, put in there or whatever, real estate attorney / because that may come up, and you may be, you may get real precise on how you're doing the search. But yp.com is one area, one source to find an attorney. Your newspaper ads are another source. In your newspaper, and attorneys do marketing all the time. They market in the Yellow Pages. They market in your local free trader, your local penny saver. All those free papers, you can normally find your attorney advertising or doing marketing. So that's another way to find an attorney. A word of mouth. You might hear a lot of people, other investors that you're talking to, other homeowners that used an attorney service. They may tell you. That's another great way. So you want to make sure this attorney specializes in real estate. Now, you don't want a divorce lawyer. You don't want a workers' comp lawyer. They may do that. You want somebody who specializes in the real estate land contracts, if possible. Real estate. Then you want normally they'll give you anywhere from 15 minutes to half hour. If you find a good attorney for an hour, you'd be real lucky, where they're a free consultation where they're not going to charge you. So anyway, you want to look for a one that specializes, okay? Attorney, know that the house on the land contract house and become a homeowner. Start your investment practices. You're going to become an investor. Now, if you're already an investor, you can tell them that. But if you're just going to buy a home on a land contract, and let him know that you're going to give him not only this house that you're going to buy land contract, you're going to do, what's land? Oh, they're going to find a motivated seller. You can even ask the real estate attorney if he can recommend somebody. He may know somebody. If he does land contract deals, he may let you know somebody that has one for sale. So he may be a good source to find a motivated seller, which is the next step. But anyway, once you find that attorney, your next step is to find a motivated seller. So the motivated seller is the most important part, because you can't buy a rent to own without this motivated seller. And it's not just a seller of a property. You're going to be looking for a motivated seller. Now, most of you know what a motivated seller is, but those of you who don't know what a real motivated seller is somebody who needs to sell ASAP. They'll knock your door down to have you buy the house. No matter what way, they just want out. And it could be, we'll talk about some key words that we're going to look for, or that you're going to look for when you start looking for motivated sellers. Now, just one way that you can look for motivated sellers is for sale by owners. Now, everybody has gone in their vehicle and enjoyed to work, places of entertainment, with you and your family, and you've seen for sale by owner signs out there. What you want to do over with you, take for sale, make sure you get the specific address, and call them. When you get back home, you can call them. So that's one way to find a motivated seller. There's many, many ways to find them. driving for dollars. Just, that's what we call it. Driving around looking for a motivated seller by the is a big one. Most people know about Craigslist just a lot, but I'm sure some of you out there have not used it yet. So it's www.craigslist.org. And when you go there, you'll get in the real estate section. And first of all, you want to create your own account. You don't have to, but it's a good idea if you're gonna be on Craigslist a lot. Is create your own account and go into the real estate section, and you'll be looking for rent to owns in the real estate section. Now we can get into this further in other training sessions, but we don't want to spend too much time on each section. I mean, we could break down every one of these sections and spend quite a while on each one, but we'll do that in future trainings. So if you want to know more about it, get in touch with me. But on Insider Elite, you guys, there's plenty of training on Craigslist, for sale by owners, driving for dollars, all that stuff through the daily wisdoms and everything else. That training is there. And like I said, we can do more training later on this subject. But Backpage, that's another website that you can go on and find motivated sellers. Motivated sellers are everywhere. What you want to look for when people are advertising a house for sale are those keywords: must sell, handyman special, rent to own, lease option. They might even say they're divorced and they need to sell quick, moving, lost job, things of that nature. So another one is a real estate agent. This is a really important cog in the wheel and an important team member that you want to talk to now when you buy a home. Not only for the home, like I said, later when you become an investor, or after you buy your home and you want to start investing, you already have it as a team member. So that's why it's very important. And the real estate agent will help you find rent to own deals. If you can, the whole reason why you're in this strategy is because you want to work with no money or as little money down as possible. That's the strategy. What we really want to emphasize in this strategy is it's a no money down strategy. It's a no money deal down. You can do it. I've done it over and over and over again. I'm not bragging, like I said, but I've done over 100 transactions, and most of them are land contract deals, and 95% of them are with no money down or very low down payments and down. I've also used OPM, other people's money, and you want to leverage OPT, other people's time. And this strategy is perfect for that. So if you guys like what you hear, then stay with me and finish this whole session, because I'm only going to give you some more good tips and strategies to make not only own your own home, but make money in this strategy. Another super way to find a motivated seller is bandit signs. I mean, I know a lot of you guys know all about them. You've used them, and I know some very close investor friends that have watched, have taught, and have recommended bandit signs and never really used them. And I was one of them people. I was one of them investors when I first started learning that I said, yeah, bandit signs, you want to use bandit signs, you want to use them. And I didn't use them for quite a while. I was recommending them. I knew all about them. I had bought them. I could tell you everything. I could tell you how wide the signs are, how high the signs are, what color the background the signs are, what magic marker to use, what size, what name brand. I could tell you every single thing about bandit signs, and I didn't use them. So I know a lot of you watching here have learned tons and tons of information from different investors, from Insider Elite, from a lot of different platforms, and I know you haven't used it. So use bandit signs, because this is a major one. I've found the majority of my sellers with bandit signs, okay? So next one would be classified ads or the free trader. I use a free trader. It's a free paper in my area. It comes out every Thursday, and it's online. It's an online paper that comes out. It used to be just a paper for quite a while, and then they became an online free trader. And I'd like to let you guys in on a little secret that some of you know this, because I mentioned it on a Daily Wisdom. If you have an account with a free trader, it's at franklincountyfreetrader.com in my area, Franklin County, New York. If you create an account, and they'll send you the whole list, the PDF of the paperback version. Paperback version comes out on a Thursday morning, and you can get the PDF electronic version Wednesday night. So that's a little trick right there to find sellers of rent-to-own properties one night before that paper gets out. So anybody looking for a rent-to-own deal, or investors, gets the paper on Thursday, you will already have had them super deals on Wednesday night. So that's a great tip that once I found it, I mean, I stole deals left and right from people that were, that don't get this information that you guys are getting right here on Insider Elite. So next one is classified ads. Classified ads in the paper, that's a way to find motivated sellers. Vacant houses, like we already talked about. You want to find the owner of them vacant houses. Ask the neighbor, knock on doors, talk to the neighbors, see who owns the vacant house. You want to send them a letter, let them know that you're looking for a home, your family lives in the area. Build a rapport with them and listen to them when you talk to them. They're going to tell you why that home is vacant. They're going to tell you all about it. So be a deal engineer. And what I mean by a deal engineer is, instead of spelling engineer with an E-E-R at the end, I spell it with an E-A-R. And that means ear. That means listen. The deal engineer will listen to the seller, and they'll tell you what their problem is. They'll tell you why they want to sell. And you're going to be the engineer by listening, because you're going to make that deal happen, because you're going to find the solution. You're going to give them a solution to their problem by listening. So you want to be a deal engineer on them vacant houses, okay? So next thing is motivated sellers. We're going to move along a little quicker here. We're not going to spend too much time on motivated sellers, because there's tons and tons of ways to find motivated sellers on Insider Elite, and I'm sure you know most of them. Them are just a few right there, but the 4 Ds that we usually teach. And by our discipline and disaster. Those are the 4 Ds, and you're going to find motivated sellers in them 4 categories. So that's what you want to look for. The next step in the land contract deal and how to execute it is to negotiate the terms. Once you find those deals on Craigslist or the vacant homes or whatever, once you listen and become the deal engineer, you've listened to why they want to sell, you want to negotiate terms with them. Okay, so once you let them know that you're going to buy the house, you're going to ask them what they'll take. Would they take an all cash offer? On Insider Elite, when I first started learning, I used a script, and most of you are privy to those scripts. And if you're not, or if you can't find them, or you don't know where they are, go in the library on Insider Elite. Or if you want to chat and ask me, I can send you how to find them and where to get them. There's a number of different websites that those scripts are. When you first start out, you use a script, but as you get better and better, you don't need those scripts. But you want to build rapport with the seller. That's the main thing, is build rapport and listen to the seller, okay? You can use a script if needed. But you also there's a seller information form that I usually use, that I've learned, and most investors use when they start out. And that form has all the information. If you haven't found it or you don't know where to find it, it's on Insider Elite. If you don't know where it is, get in touch with me or any other investor, and they'll direct you to where you can get them seller information forms. You know, we use them not only for land contract deals, but you know, like I said, these things you're going to be using when you become an investor too, if you're not already an investor. All right. And this seller information form explains all the definitions of the terms. No, I'm sorry. Not the terms. The seller information form explains all the definitions. Seller information form is everything that you need to fill out, the questions to ask the seller. What ad you want for the property? Why are you selling? Do you have a mortgage? Questions on a seller information form. What I have in my head explain the definition of terms is when you negotiate. Let me tell you what this one thing is. Don't worry about not being able to negotiate, because start your first deal. Once you start listening, and if you don't know how to do it, get up and put in how to negotiate, how to get better at negotiate. Start being a lifetime learner. If you don't know how to negotiate, don't stop there. Don't say, you know, I'm not really good at negotiating, because I wasn't myself. Started, guys, and struggled on every part of the strategy and every part of my investing, just like you guys. I mean, I still struggle. I'm not perfect at it. I'm getting better and better at it. But I get on YouTube. I got on YouTube and I punched in, how do I negotiate a deal? And I watched video after video after video, and I put it on my phone, and on my way to work, every morning, still have to, before I retire, and I'm working at it every day, and you guys should be working at it every day. Keys and audio, you can't negotiate. I watch it, not to the audio on my way to work, on my drive, and every way home, all the way home, and all the way there. Then I became better and better. You have to the terms once you negotiate the land contract with them. Okay, so you're gonna what you want to do after you negotiate with them, you want to ask them about on a land. They don't know what future training we're gonna talk about specific terms and the contract to the seller. So if a lot of times some sellers really do know what land contracts are. Often than not, they don't know what it is. After the seller, so you can turn deals. We'll have that, and you'll certainly need is once you have, as soon as you have that deal negotiated with a seller, you're gonna, what I do is I bring an option to purchase contract with me. Excuse me. You tap on an option and time to talk to an attorney, the information you need. Just, I mean, that's what a purchase agreement. But then once you have the purchase, have the attorney do the land contract, have them in the land contract. So the land contract is different from the purchase agreement. I want you to keep that in mind. And don't be afraid, don't be worried that you're not understanding this, because the attorney is going to handle it all for you. Once you talk to the seller, find out that he will sign the option to purchase, and it will be negotiated, not the cash price, but the land contract price, and so on. You're going to negotiate all the numbers out. Then you're going to go to the attorney and let him know all this information. He's going to take care of everything for you. What you got to do is get good at negotiating and listening and answering questions. So once you do the first one, you're going to build massive confidence so you can do more than one husband. But start talking to them and use them scripts. So actually, before you lock the property up, your question, if you want, and then ask them. It doesn't matter. You can get only an option. You're not obligated to buy it. It's only an option. They're obligated to sell it to you on the option, and you're going to put in a certain date, how long the option is good for. So you're going to ask them questions anyway, like, do you still have a mortgage? Be great if they don't have a mortgage, because you have a mortgage. You're gonna have what? Okay. Now, in this contract, when you do find, you're gonna need all this information. At least you're going to negotiate with them. Let's move forward with this. So then you're going to talk about the mortgage that they might have, the payoff, the bank. You're going to negotiate closing costs. Normally, the seller has a certain portion of the closing costs, and the buyer has a certain portion. But you're going to try to negotiate as much as you can to the benefit of you. On the cost that they're going to do the land contract benefit, that contract, two contracts, when you start buying and selling, about just buyer's contract, and there's a seller's contract for a land contract. Each you have one contract that benefits you as a seller, and one if you're both. Just to let you guys know that part, we can move forward now. So closing costs, you're going to negotiate. Another thing that I found that a lot of times we forget is fuel in the tank at the property. They may have already filled up the fuel tank, which right now in my area, the fuel prices are very expensive. So you're going to negotiate fuel in there to your benefit, hopefully. And appliances is another one. So you're going to forward all this information to your attorney. You're going to forward the names of the sellers, the legal full name, that's very important, and the tax ID number of the property, the specific address, and all these need to be specific, because when your attorney writes up all these, all this information in the contract, it has to be, for instance, Joe S. Smith in the contract when it's Joe P. Smith. So you want to make sure that all this information is correct that you get from the seller. You're going to forward because these are questions that the attorney is going to ask you. I'm giving you a heads up. You're learning right now the things that you're going to need, the information you're going to need to get from this seller. So when you get this information I'm telling you about, you're going to have, when you call that attorney, you're going to have that information because he's going to ask you for this specific information. If the seller owns the seller, you can get seller information, ask the bank for all that information, forward it to you by text, by email, whatever way, hopefully by text or email, and as quick as you can. You always want to do things as fast as you can in the most up-to-date technology. If you're not a high-tech person, then learn to be. Slowly learn if you haven't. Because my attorney, my sellers, my attorney, my title company, all these people, my team that I work with, that's all I do is use my iPhone on my lunch break, on my breaks at work. I text them, and then within seconds or minutes, I have tons and tons of tasks completed because I'm using technology to the best of my advantage, and I want you guys to do the same thing. Okay, so back to the bank statement and payoff from the bank. You want to also ask them. This is very important. You want to ask them if there's an abstract done on the property. That's very important because when you go, before you actually make the deal, you're going to have your attorney go to an abstract or title company and have an abstract done. And if you want to know what an abstract is, go in the product library on StHilaire Elite, and it'll show you. No, just kidding. I'll tell you. An abstract is like it's a 40-year. Usually they go back 40 years, and it's a search, a title search they call it. Sometimes it's your title company will do it. Sometimes I don't know if the attorneys ever do it, but the attorneys work with the title companies usually, and it's a search to make sure there's no liens on the property, and it's going to bring up all that information about the property. So you don't go ahead and buy this property and find out after you've already bought it or put a down payment on the property that there's a lien on it. What is going to show up if there's a loan on the property and the bank has a mortgage on it, or the seller has a mortgage on the property from the bank, that'll show up in the abstract, and you're going to know that. If they tell you it's paid for free and clear, you're going to know through the abstract that it's not paid for free and clear. So this is your safety. You want to spend them. If you have to spend money to do this, you have to do it. Okay. You might be able to negotiate that, have them pay for it, but in most cases I've found that you're going to have to pay for it yourself sometimes. So you say, well, I thought you said no money down deal. Well, it can be a no money down deal if you're going to use it as investing. Remember when I talked about the sandwich, doing a sandwich, or buying a house on a land contract and then selling it? Well, as an investor, you're going to be using OPM, other people's money, to when they buy it from you, then you could use that money for an abstract, use their earnest money. We'll get into that. That's another training later, but I'm just giving you a few things to look forward to. Okay, so you want to ask them if the abstract has already been done, because I have made a mistake before, and one of my lessons is I didn't ask that question. I went ahead and done the abstract. I think it cost me, every area is different. Some areas are $100 I've heard of, which is awesome. I wish I had that, all the way up to $300 or $500. And I paid for it and found out after I asked them, after I paid for it, that it was already done. So I paid for it for nothing. So you guys are learning right here to ask that question. Ask them if the abstract's done. So then, you'll have a closing with the attorney. You got to talk about the closing. You got to talk with the seller about the closing. That's one of the things you have. This is negotiation terms that you're going to negotiate. The attorney fee, the cost of it, the recording fees, tax reimbursements. Them are things that you're going to talk about, and it's all going to be negotiated. So them are some things that once all of them terms are negotiated and the attorney draws the contract up and you go to closing and all that, and everything comes out the way it's supposed to, you're going to be one happy land contract homeowner. And like I said before, there's three things that you usually negotiate in a land contract. One's the down payment, one's the monthly payment, and the end is the total sales price. And then the other thing is the interest rate. So all three of them are all negotiable, okay? And whatever you negotiate with the seller is what it's going to be. And all them terms will be on the contract, land contract, that the attorney is going to draw up. So once you go to closing, you will each pay for your closing costs. You'll be a happy homeowner. And then after you learn everything we talked about tonight, you do one of them deals. After you do just one deal, you're going to be ready to be an investor, and you're going to use them same steps to buy more homes on a land contract, or once you sell one and you have the money to buy another property for cash and you own it free and clear, then you can sell that same property on a land contract, or you can buy on a land contract and sell on a land contract and be the middleman. But basically tonight we learned how to own your own home with no money down or a little down payment through negotiating a land contract deal. So that's how you execute it step by step. And I know you guys can do this. It's you can do it. So I'd like to end here this, the step by step, and I'd like to open it up for some questions and comments. If you guys can, if you got any questions in the chat right here, let me know. Let me know what you guys thought, and give me some questions if you have any. Let's see what's the chat here. Also, while I'm waiting for some questions and comments, if you guys want to learn the land, the land contract language, I know you guys, if you're familiar with, I know most of you guys know how to get around StHilaire Elite. You go log in and you go to product library, and then you go to view library, and then you'll scroll down to the real estate terms glossary. I think it's in blue. You'll click that highlighted link right there, and you'll view the glossary right there. And you'll have, you really want to learn the language of the land contract and wholesale and all of investing language. If you haven't been to that glossary section, get there and familiarize yourself with the language, because the more you speak the language, the better you guys are going to be. And one super thing that I noticed about StHilaire Elite is, as opposed to other platforms, when they give you a glossary, StHilaire Elite gives you the terms. They're fabulous. They detail everything. There's two things. That doesn't just give you the meaning of it. It does give you, it says, what does it mean? It gives you the glossary word. It tells you, it says, what does it mean? But it also says and shows and explains how is it applied. It gives you examples of how it's applied. And I think it's super fantastic. So I'm still looking for the chat here. I'm trying to get StHilaire Elite chat. If you guys have any, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys want to know anything? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you can hear me. Websites. Type it in right there, Jay. There we go. Okay, two websites to find attorneys. Just one website is yp.com. It's yp.com is yellowpages.com. Just type that in. There's an app that you can get for your iPhone too. Are there specific questions to ask to qualify an attorney? You can use specific questions, but what you want, the way I qualify an attorney is I ask him plain out, do you do land contracts? Do you do rent to own? You know, that's another, I think I failed to mention that some other forms of the land contract, basically the same thing, just different names. The contracts are different, but it's seller financing, selling a note. Maybe I already mentioned this. Them are just other names for the land contract. Are there specific questions asked? The specific question I'd ask, like I said, is do you do land contracts? Ask the attorney if he specializes in real estate. That's the main thing. And he'll tell you if he's done land contracts or not. I really want to specify, this is the most important thing I can specify, is in your area, in your state, you want to ask that attorney what, in your jurisdiction, what is legal and what is not legal. Land contracts, I don't know if they're legal in every state. I can tell you in New York, my attorney, I've talked to him extensively about them. I've done them extensively. And my attorney have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. The way I found my attorney was I went to the title company when I was first learning, and I looked up land contract deals. I talked to my title company, and they said, they directed me to the computer, and I sat down, and I didn't really know how to use the computer. I had the ladies there help me. They showed me how to get in to who buys a lot of land contracts. And I found this one guy's name over and over and over again, the attorney's name, and the person who did the land contracts. In my town, there was a guy that done hundreds and hundreds of them. He had since passed away. He was an old guy, but there was records of this guy. And I just kept looking at all the deeds and all the transactions that he did. I seen his name on every deal, every piece of property, I think, in 2 counties. So once I learned from my mentors here and other students and other teachers and attorneys and my county websites and stuff, I started digging in, and I found this guy that done all these. So I started modeling him and using the same attorney that he did. So like I said, referrals. Once you get referrals to an attorney, the work's already going to be done, because when they refer a land contract attorney to you, you don't have to qualify him. He's already qualified by the person who referred him to you. So Kathy asks, so just make sure I have it correct. The land contract is used for subject to. Subject to is a little bit different. The contracts are different, I believe. I mean, they're kind of all the same. It's the same. It's a seller finance deal, but it's not exactly specifically, excuse me, just like a land contract. The difference is in the contracts, the wording in the contracts. I mean, you take a subject to contract, you're taking it subject to the existing loan. I mean, you're still, yes, you're still doing that. But I believe, I can't speak for subject to. I haven't done many subject to deals. I mean, I'm taking, the land contracts are taking, a lot of them are subject to the existing loan. Yes, but the way I organize it and use the contract is a land contract, specifically the way it's drawn up by my attorney. I can't really speak about how the subject tos are. I know Randy Vaughn does a lot of subject tos. I know I used to. And he would be a perfect person to give you exactly how it might be the same or differ from these. Answered you on that. If you guys have any questions more, I'm more than willing to spend some more time to answer them with you guys. I really want you guys to learn this strategy And it's a super simple strategy. And I know you guys can you can own your own home with no money down. Absolutely. And I know you guys can make a ton of money with a land contract strategy. Susan, did I answer? Hopefully I answered your questions about qualifying an attorney. Is there any other questions out there on you guys? Hopefully I was clear and concise. I want you guys to know this is my first Google Hangout of many. I'm excited to do more. I'll only get, and I'm only going to better myself every single day and every single year. So I'm just like you guys. I'm on StHilaire Elite all the time. I teach on the daily wisdom. I'm an expert contributor, but I'm also a learner. Every day I learn something from you guys. I'm sure, Kathy, I've seen you and talked to you. I've learned stuff from you. I've learned, every student on here listening that is in StHilaire Elite that has shared anything, I've probably learned something from you. So I'm not only a teacher, but I want to be an inspirer, a motivator, and most importantly, continue to be a lifetime learner, because I'm going to keep researching, interviewing people, learning, implementing these land contracts and get better at them so I can teach you guys. And if you guys learn anything about them and want to teach me, I'm all ears. Okay, Tom asks, do banks use land contracts? Do banks use land contracts? It's a good question. I don't believe I don't think a bank would use a land contract. No, a bank is in the business of giving loans out. They don't want properties back, although they do get them back. Okay, you're probably asking me, Tom, would they sell on a land contract? No, I don't. I've never heard of that. Okay, Susan, great. I'm glad I answered your question. Tom, no, I'm pretty sure I've never heard of a bank using a land contract. That's in, do you have any more land contract strategies to share? Well, land contract is a strategy, just like rent to own, subject to, them are all strategies. Land contract is the strategy that I'm sharing tonight, the specific steps in the land contract. Is there any other steps? That's basically the steps. Find an attorney, find a motivated seller, negotiate the terms, forward all the terms to your attorney, and then you have a closing. And now there would be more steps when you become an investor, because then when you become an investor, this is what I guess I could tell you guys. This isn't a secret, but this is the main thing. When you guys start learning land contract, speaking of an investor, the first thing you're going to want to do is find a buyer. Before you negotiate with your seller, you're going to want a buyer, and you're going to want to know what the buyer has for a down payment, what he can afford for a monthly payment, and what interest rate he can pay. That's the same as you. That seller has to know what you can pay for a down payment and monthly payment. When you're going to sell it on a land contract as an investor, you're going to use your buyer's numbers to negotiate with your seller. Because just take, for instance, has $5,000 on a single family home. He has $5,000 down to buy. Well, you're going to negotiate with your seller. You're going to be the middleman. You're going to negotiate with your seller to buy that house for $1,000 down. So you can make $4,000. You're going to take your buyers $5,000, put $4,000 in your pocket, and give to your seller that you're buying from $1,000 that you negotiated. So that's $4,000 in your pocket. Now you do the same thing with a monthly payment. You take your buyer's monthly payment, what he can pay, say it's $600. So then you have to negotiate. You have to negotiate with your seller a couple $100 less than that. So you're going to make a couple $100 per month. And then same thing on the end deal with the interest rate and the sales price. You're going to negotiate sell price with your buyer more than what you're going to buy it for. So just to get you guys excited and know how you're going to make money with it, what we're going to do, we can do another training on investing with land contracts if you guys are interested in that. So I hope you guys learned a lot, and I'm going to take a couple more questions before we let you guys cash in for the night. I want to make sure I answer all questions. I'm froze up here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I talked to a real estate agent today who seems flexible with seller financing. An agent, that's great. Is this considered a land contract deal? It depends. If you're talking, the question was, I talked to a real estate agent today who seems flexible with seller financing. Is this considered a land contract deal? It can be, if that's the way you want to construct the deal. Ask your agent if he's done land contract deals. The agent may be familiar or already may have a contract or have experience in contract for deed, which is another, just a different scenario. Same kind of strategy, but just a little bit different contract. So ask them. They may call it rent to own. That's another name for it. But land contract. Ask them specifically about land contracts. And I can tell you on DeanGraziOC.com, he has on the side there, he has land contracts up in the side. And actually, I know I'm pretty sure that there should be an Insider Elite to land contracts, the specific contract. So you can look at it, get a copy of it, and bring it to your real estate agent and say, look, have you done one of these this specific way, the land contract way? So it can be considered a land contract deal. That's seller financing, yes. Where do you find a land contract, Elizabeth? I just answered that in DeanGraziOC.com on his website. You can find it right here on Insider Elite. I'm pretty sure it's in here somewhere. And if once I get and know how to use this Google Hangout, like I said, it's my first time. As I get better with this, my assistant Tom's here. Tom Kerr is here with me. That's what I wanted to tell you. I have hired an assistant IT guy to help me out. Through these land contract deals, my wife has now been able to retire from her job and work for me full-time in real estate because of these land contracts specifically. So I have her as an assistant to help me. I have my IT, Tom Kerr, right by my side here now, my buddy, and he's a tremendous help to me. And he can tell you also how these land contract deals have put money in my pocket to be able to hire him, my wife, and I've also hired a project manager from Singapore that is helping me get better message with you guys, learn how to do these. So if you can't find a land contract anywhere, get in touch with me on jssthilaire.com or jbtogs@yahoo.com, and I will get you anything Insider Elite. And if it is not in there, I'll get it to you one way or another. We'll get you. I have land contracts that I could give you PDF form. If you email me or get in touch with me on a message here in Insider Elite, I'll get it for you one way or another. Okay, do some sellers consider credit on land contract? Yes, land contracts are different. I mean, it all depends on how they're set up. Do some credit. Some sellers land contract. I'm not sure if I understand the question. Some sellers I'm not really sure. If you have credit for your down payment, you can use the credit for down payment. I'm not really sure if you can explain that further. Do some sellers consider credit on land contract? I might be just having a brain fart here. It's in the Elite Info contract session. Perfect. All right, there's your answer to one of them. Okay, I'll just give you my email there, guys. You can just get a hold of me on Insider Elite is the best way to do it. But if you don't, there's some information there that if I can help you in any way and direct to any answers that you guys need, I'm here to help you 100%. That's what we do. We help each other. We're together. And question? Any more questions? All right. Happy New Year to you guys too. Hope you had a good holiday. Doctor really seems flexible. Seller funding. Where do you find it? Another roll of questions. Okay. Questions you guys need answers. Just to give you guys a heads up, make sure if you haven't seen this, check out the replay. Thanks, Andrea. I want to thank you for helping me out. Andrea has helped me out tremendously. She's a great inspiration. A lot of students on Insider Elite right here that super thank all you guys for helping me out from day one when I first started learning real estate. And I'm so blessed to be able to know you guys and be able to share information with you guys. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining me tonight. We've done just about an hour. So if there's anything I can help you guys with, I'm here for you. And I'm real happy to do this Google Hangout with you. And I'm going to do many more. And we're going to expand upon the land contract and get better at it and teach you guys everything that I learned. So have a happy holiday, guys. And what do we do? We lose it? No. Okay. Happy holiday, guys, and talk to you later. Thanks for hanging with me.